it's been a dream come true so far. It's playing pro ball. It's what I've always wanted, and just going through the grind of working your way up through the minor leagues and everything, trying to make the MLB dream come true. And I mean, it's been a blessing so far.
Well, excited to have you on, Evan. Yeah, kind of last time we saw you, you were just getting you had committed previously, but we basically like did your commitment to Kansas from Cochise and everything. And now it's been probably a few years now and you're in
Yeah.
double A with the Dodgers. What's the journey been like the last few years, man? I know it's been a lot of traveling and everything, but
Yeah, it's been a lot of travel, but I mean, it's been a dream come true so far. It's playing pro ball. It's what I've always wanted, and just going through the grind of working your way up through the minor leagues and everything, trying to make the MLB dream come true. And I mean, it's been a blessing so far. It's been a ton of
yeah.
fun, and I mean, just the whole experience so far within the organization and everything has been awesome.
Yeah, some tell us about like a different obviously you're in the Dodgers organization, but you've been playing for a few different teams throughout in within their organization in single A and double A. What's it kind of been like? The ups and downs, the trajectory of where they're kind of telling you where you're at and everything. And I know you had some exciting stuff going on this spring training from what Joey told me and just with the JIC squad and everything. So tell us a little bit about the journey of the last 2 years.
Yeah, I fortunately have been able to have a pretty good start so far to my pro career. Had a really good last year in high A with the Great Lakes Loons. And then yeah, going into this spring training, able to be a part of what you mentioned, the JIC squad, which stands for just in case. And that's just some minor league guys each year that get selected for it that um, get to help out. They get to fill in for some of the big league spring training games whenever it's needed. And so the guys that are on that squad, there's not every single one of them is going to every big league game throughout spring training, but they'll select, four guys, maybe five guys or something like that at each game and have them go and just hang out. And you may not throw, you may throw. It just kind of depends on what they need that day. Um, and it was just a super cool experience just to be around the big leaguers, especially with the Dodgers. You got so many guys who are all stars, future Hall of Famers, like World Series MVPs. It's incredible to be around and be a part of. Get to stand next to Yamamoto as he's warming up in the bullpen and like 2 feet behind him. You're walking by Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, all these big names and guys you see on TV for so long, and now you're there, you're next to them, and it's just a super cool experience. So yeah, it was just like being able there to watch how they go about their work and things like that, and have some conversations with them. I didn't get to talk to too many of the guys as I wanted to, just because I was a little late getting to the Jig squad this year because was dealing with like a small little back injury at the start of spring training. So I was kind of thrown into it the last like 2 weeks or so. So I didn't get
Okay.
as much of that experience, but I still did get a little bit. And yeah, it was awesome. It was a blessing for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Rubbing shoulders with some of those guys. I mean, you're probably learning a lot by just watching. And I think for a lot of our younger guys, middle schoolers and high schoolers, like that's probably a huge thing of just watching the game and learning how guys go about their business. Even some of our guys, I tell them like when you have him around, watch how he works, he's very methodical with how like what he's working on each day and all that different stuff within bullpens. And what would you say has stood out most about the Dodgers organization? Obviously, they're a perennial organization that's always in it towards the World Series every single year. And like, stood out to
Mhm.
you the most since you've been with them the last years?
I would say just their like they go above and beyond in everything. Like they really care about who you are as a player, as a person. They take care of their guys, but then they also it's like it's very individualized, and like if you have questions and things like you want to work on or things you might like have concerns about, they're completely open to like talking with you about it and like forming a plan to, make things better. Yeah, it's like family. They really over there, like you can talk to anybody and everybody around the whole organization. And then just the amount of guys that are around that have so much knowledge in the game, like, coaches that have been around the game for 40 plus years, and former players that are coaches now, and then also just like the people who run like the TrackMan data, all the like data analysis, things like that, and then to the training room where you have your trainers, and then your strength and conditioning. Just like everybody is so like top of the line, and everybody knows what they're doing, and they're so intentional about every little piece that they're doing. They just want the best for you, and it's super cool to be a part of that, because you just you know it's something that, like, everything you dreamed of. It's what you want out of pro ball, and
Yeah.
they go above and beyond the expectations.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I when I first heard that you're drafted there, I was like, man, he's gonna be around some of the best baseball minds and being able to soak it in every single day. And from your stance, like going from college ball, where you had a really good experience at the junior college level, and then the D1 NCAA level with Kansas, what part of your game has improved the most since turning pro, or some of the challenges that you've had, or just like that the differences between college ball and pro ball?
Yeah, I would say I've improved, like, in well, velocity wise, improved a little bit there, but that's not even like the main focus. I've improved in like being able to know situations, and like being able to pick apart like hitters' weaknesses, um, recognizing, you know, what they're giving me pitch to pitch, and like being able to, whether like recognize a swing that they have on, on a fastball, on a slider, and being able to like actually know what they're looking for, and then figure out my plan of what I want to come up with next. And then also just like developing my arsenal as well. Like coming out of college, I had fastball, slider, changeup, and then now that I've been with the Dodgers, I've gotten a sinker and then a cutter as well. So just making my arsenal deeper, and having a couple extra pitches to make hitters, just like that more uncomfortable. Um, and not only just adding those pitches, but like being able to locate them and use them in any situation I need. And honestly, the sinker has been my main fastball now. Like
Oh, really?
I don't use the four seam. Yeah, I don't use the four seam as much as I used to. And yeah, it's been something that's worked out really well for me. And then yeah, just
It,
going from college to pro ball is just so much more individualized to you, and they can just like spend so much more time with you personally and figure out your own game plan, since they don't have, you're not limited to, one or two coaches, so you have so much more
yeah,
time to talk with people one on one, face to face, and like figure out steps going forward, and things that you want to work on and get better at.
yeah. Did they find that? Did you find that out, or like as far as like moving from the four seam to the sinker, like just seeing your pitch profile from all the TrackMan data, and did you guys was it a coach who brought it up to you, and then you just started working on it, and then you started seeing the results within, you know, live scrimmages and live games and whatnot, and you're probably getting weak contact. I haven't seen too many of your outings, but I'm assuming the pitch profile like worked out a lot better from what you were seeing, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was a thing. I think it was fall 2024. It was like right after the season ended, when I did my 2 weeks out in Low A with the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. They brought some of us new draft guys back for just like an extra week, just to, get some more data on us and stuff. And during that time, one of the coaches brought up. He was like, "Have you ever thrown a sinker before?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I've never really even really messed with it or anything like that." And he's like, "I think just with your arm slot and everything, and I think it would really work out well for you." So from there, just started using it a little bit, and then I threw a bullpen with it, and the shape and everything, and it held the velo really well too. And yeah, then just working on it throughout the off season, I was seeing just consistency with it, and then bringing it into spring training, and then finally getting to face like live hitters and using it that way. And yeah, like you said, I was seeing really weak contact. Getting a lot of just a lot of ground balls, and that's exactly what I want to do. So
Hmm.
that was just something I brought into the season with me too, and it was the same thing during that season that I had in Great Lakes and high A. It was just a lot of short, quick at bats, like two pitch, three pitch at bats for just getting a guy to get a ground ball, get double plays, get out of innings quick, and get my job done as quick as possible. So yeah, that was a really good addition for me for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. Yeah, that's I know you've always been a fastball slider guy, and then you obviously added in the changeup, and yeah, I know your slider's still your swing and miss, but I mean, when you're coming in, because you've been mainly a
Yeah.
closer. Yeah, yeah, and obviously if you're going an inning or two innings or whatnot, like you're not getting through the full lineup and whatnot. You want to get as much weak contact and get out of there as soon as you can. So I love it. How important has training recovery and training at this level been for you? And what's that been like? I guess your routine and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big thing that I've tried to work on and get better at because um just the toll that the season takes on your body and everything like that. Like, you're playing 100 and like in the minor leagues, I think we have in double A this year, I think we have 140 games, I want to say around there. So not quite as long as the MLB season, but pretty close. And so it's just we're going 6 games a week. We get one off day per week, and it's just I'm throwing 2 to 3 times a week at a minimum, and so recovery has been a huge part of the process that I've like gotten a lot better at since getting into pro ball, and have like come to understood like how important it really is because if you're not recovering properly, that just the injuries and your body just starts to feel really really crappy. And um
Hmm.
the next time you're going out, your velo might not be the same as what it is, and everything, and you're
Yeah.
just not able to perform at the level that you want to. um and then just the training aspect too of like um getting the lifts in and everything throughout the off season, during season. It's been a lot more baseball specific lifts, that which is like really cool, and it's something that didn't really have a whole lot throughout college. Like when I got to Kansas, it was started to get a little more towards that, but it's just gotten that much. um it's just a much higher level now. Like I said, it's just so personalized to you, and like the way like they look at how our body moves, and um areas we might be lacking in, and they base our lifts and our our, our prep work and everything like that around that. And so that's
Hmm.
just it's a whole different ball game now when it comes to training and recovery. So
Yeah, absolutely. I like the individualized aspect of it. Like, was there anything specific that the coaches or the trainers saw with how your body moved that they saw that there might be a weakness in some spot that you guys worked on or implemented into your training plan specifically?
yeah, we it was just like some mobility areas, like because they had us do so many different movements and things like that, and just like um hip mobility, and getting into like deeper ranges of motions and like squats and things like that. And uh that was some of the main things, like hip mobility and being able to get into a deeper squat. um Rotational things like being able to, let's see. I'm trying to think of how they it's I'm trying to think of how they explained it. Um, but I don't know. There's just so many different things that they've had me work on, and um, a lot more rotational stuff. Just because like that's something with like my hip shoulder separation as I'm moving down the mound. Um, everything like all when I got into pro ball, everything was kind of all coming together at once, and so working on it not only on the mound but in the weight room and being able to get through that range of motion a lot easier is has definitely helped.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you probably thought you had really good hip mobility, but then they're like, "Hey, like actually we see this." And you're like, "Oh, really? I haven't had that feeling before in that deeper range of motion with a squat or whatever it might be." But that's
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm sure they can see all that stuff real fast, which is awesome. What have you learned about handling failure and staying confident from like the mental side of things? Because, I think it was it like a huge I guess from college ball to pro ball, was it a huge adjustment for you? Like I forget how you started off when you were first coming in 2024, but I feel like you've gotten more and more comfortable, at least watching from afar, just looking at stat lines and your outings and different things like that, and adjusting. I know you adjusted from being a starter to a reliever at your last year in Kansas, so like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's definitely like going from being a starter and reliever. It's a whole different mindset and whole different type of preparation that you need to do. But dealing with that, I've definitely gotten a lot more used to it, and I was able to get used to it fairly quickly, and had a great start to my pro career, like even from the very beginning, and um, but even though I have had a lot of success, there is always going to be failure, and especially in baseball, like baseball is just that sport. Like it's gonna get you at some point, and especially with the amount of outings that you have as a reliever, um, it's just there's always gonna be a day that it's not gonna be your day. You're either just not gonna have the command that you do, or you're just gonna be getting hit, and you're gonna get runs scored on you, and um, just being able to bounce back as quickly as possible because you know that you're gonna throw. You could throw possibly the next day, and you're most likely gonna throw within the next 2 to 3 days after that. And so you got to be able to take the good with the bad and everything like that, and move on quick. And I think just the more that I've gotten my experience in pro ball, the more I've been able to move on quickly from those bad outings, just because you're getting that experience under your belt, and it's just like, all right, just got to move on to the next, just got to keep moving on to the next. Because if you hold on to that stuff, then it's just going to pile up, and then it's just going to kind of send you into a spiral, and then things are just going to get worse from there. So you just got to learn to let things go pretty much as soon as it's over with, and just get ready for that next outing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I can definitely notice that with just you in general. Like going from a starter to reliever, that's one thing, and then I don't know. Yeah, you do have to. When I made the switch from starter to reliever in college too, it was like it's a completely different preparation process and a completely different mindset. You're going in there for an inning, maybe an inning or two, whatever, and if you have that bad outing, like you're gonna get that next opportunity, so you better flush it right away and just have a very I've heard a coach say before, have a kind of a fishbowl mindset where you're just leaving it all in there and then going to the next one, or just back to kind of your days with us. I know it was quite a while ago. I was trying to think about when it was. I randomly always have the videos just pop up on my timeline, dude, of you throwing bullpens and the little shop that we had a long time ago. I show people and they're
Yeah.
like, "Where'd you guys start?" Yeah, in Fridley, just this little shop off of Osborne. We have
Yeah.
a pro guy now who used to throw bullpens in there, so to some of our catchers, and it was kind of crazy. But um, thinking back to that time, how did Complete Athlete help prepare you for your junior college journey, and then like it was a part of your journey. So like taking yourself back to that time, like how did it kind of get you in the mode of like, pursuing this baseball journey? Because, that's, I guess you had it in you and you're like, oh man, like I just want to work. Like I remember you coming in like so many different days. Like if you can put yourself back into that mindset of where you're at then.
I think it honestly helped me figure out like what I need to do in order to keep moving on to the next level. And like it helped me kind of realize the work that was needed to be like put in order to achieve that, and develop plans and like figure out, the sort of things that I needed to go through and in order to better myself. And like, because before that, like going through high school and that first like, I don't know, year and a half or so of college or whatever it was that I didn't really have like a game plan or anything like that, or anybody to really like tell me how to go about my work. Um, 'Cause I think it was just all like, I'm just like before that it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the field. Just gonna go practice, and that was it. And I didn't know really how to go about getting other kind of work in, like extra work in. I didn't know how to like prep my body in the right way. I didn't know how to, go through a proper throwing program to like, increase velo or work on certain things of like staying in zone with off speed and like I had good command and stuff like throughout high school, but like I don't know, it was just kind of like unconscious. So just like how I played all the way as like growing up as a kid is just like, all right, I'm just gonna go play ball. I'm gonna go do what I
Yeah.
do. But like I didn't have any knowledge of like how to really become better,
Yeah.
you know?
From what I'm hearing
And Complete
from
Athlete
you,
was like kind of set that for me.
absolutely. I think it more was like the intentionality, like of like
Hmm.
knowing what you're doing on a daily basis. Like from what I remember, you would, come in and do one lesson a week with, myself or Joe Lewis or whoever it might have been, or old Dan Tupper, pitching coach. But it was more so like daily routines that you just started establishing, and then you've been getting more building blocks every single level you've gone up of different things that you can work on and everything from there. But I think that was a huge start to your journey, and we were a part of it with you. Um, some rapid fire questions. Toughest hitter you've faced so far in pro ball?
Ooh. Kevin McGonigal. He
Kevin
just made his
McGonigal.
he
Is he
just
in the
made
league
his
now?
yeah, he just made his debut with the Tigers at the beginning of the year this year. I faced him last year in high A when I was with the Loons and he was with West Michigan. Um yeah, we faced off against each other a few times, but he it's almost like he has no holes in his swing. And it's like, you have a game plan against him, and every time I did face him, I feel like I executed it. But like I'd, put things on the corners and make great pitches, but he's still just like fouling it off and fouling it off and fouling it off. And then like I can't get anything past this guy. And
Yeah.
I did get to I think I did get a strikeout on him one time, and then he got like a end of the bat or broken bat single off me, and then I think I got like a ground out against him another time. But I mean, yeah, that guy was just like it was. It was going to be a battle every time he was stepping up to the plate, and I mean now you realize like he was batting like 380, I think, when we in high A when we were
Oh
facing
wow.
off against him. So. And yeah, now he made his debut this year with the Tigers and he's killing it up there. So I mean, it obviously
Yeah.
shows.
Absolutely. Don't you just hate it when you hit your spot with like a changeup low in the zone and a guy just has controls his body so well that he can just hit it for power the other gap or whatever it might be, or you execute your slider. And I always hated that. I had a college teammate like that where anytime we'd face each other in live scrimmages, he was an all-American, so it was like, damn it, I can't get this guy out. And you're executing every single pitch. I hate that. But he's got his debut, and that's crazy. And you're gonna be at that some point sometime here soon. Favorite road trips, stop, I guess. I mean, you guys crap. you're in. So where are you at right now? Tell us where you're exactly at right now this second.
Yeah, so I right now I'm in Tulsa.
Okay.
We just got back from a road trip. We were in Little Rock, Arkansas, playing the Arkansas Travelers. And but yeah, favorite
Road
roads.
trip
Oh,
stop,
man.
like food wise, man. I don't know where you guys are stopping. I mean, you got to take care of your bodies, but I don't know. It's hard to find the healthy stuff, especially down in that area, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Man, we haven't last
Ma-
last year when I was in Great Lakes, we didn't have too many whenever we would stop for food before actually getting somewhere, it would just be like a Chipotle or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
Um, but now, yeah, we haven't had a long enough road trip where we've made stops on the way there, but like this year so far, being on the road, going to Frisco and playing the Frisco Rough Riders, that was probably been my favorite road trip that we've had so far. It was really cool area and um like a lot of like you had a lot of things to do around there. You had a big old mall around and just places to walk to and just the area was super nice and the stadium was super unique. So that's probably been the favorite one so far.
Sweet. I love it. And do you have a, I don't know, as a reliever, obviously like walk up song. You got one right now? What is it?
Yeah, I do have one. It's Johnny P's Caddy by Benny the Butcher and J. Cole, but it's the J. Cole part. It's the J. Cole
Okay.
verse.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, hey, you need to have it at this point in the song. Like, I only want that. I don't like the other part. Like, we gotta get it right when I'm running up to the mound. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. In closing, man, it's been great having you on here, but like goals for you, like the rest of the season. You're obviously in double A. It's Tulsa Drillers, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's your goals for the rest of the season?
Goals for the rest of the season. Just I mean, stringing together, scoreless outings and, staying in zone, just attacking hitters, getting my job done, as best as I can, as quick as I can when I do go into the game, and just helping my team win ball games as much as possible. Um, of course, getting a call up to AAA or would be sweet. But I think for me, I want to stay in the moment though, and be where I'm, be present where I'm at, and just
Hmm.
yeah, help my team win ball games as best as I can. And if I'm in Tulsa the whole year, hopefully help us win a Texas League championship.
Sweet. I love it, man. Yeah, the part about staying in the moment, like you obviously have these like overarching goals, like kind of looming, but yeah, the only way that you're going to succeed is if you're currently staying at the present moment. And I think a big part of that's your faith, in Jesus Christ and everything, just keeping you level-headed with everything. And I've noticed that since you were what, 19, 20 years old until you're what, 25 now, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yep. And that's keeping you level-headed and staying in the moment. And, it's all up to him anyways. So he's just working through you
Exactly.
every single day. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Sweet. Message for CA players and families listening today. If they have like a young kid who's, 11, 12-year old, maybe they're 16, 17, like any words you have for them?
Um, Man, I would say, I mean, yeah, faith is everything. Jesus Christ has been the reason why I'm able to step on the field every day and continue my career as a professional baseball player. And without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So put your faith in him, and great things will happen. He will always be there for you. Um, and then also just for guys that are looking to play pro ball like I am, just continue to work at it, continue to grind, continue to push yourself, push yourself to the limits. And there's you know from a guy who at one point in his life thought his baseball career might be over, but is now playing pro ball. It's never too late, and you just got to keep pushing. You got to keep working, and always believe in yourself, believe in Jesus, and good things will happen for you.
I love it, man. I love it. You're a testament to that. Appreciate it. One last thing, man, and I know I messaged you a long time ago about it, but we're gonna get you to come up here and run a pitching camp at some point in the wintertime. I'm holding you to it. I'll even
Oh
pay for
yeah,
the
for
plane
sure.
ticket. Yeah. I know you don't get too much time off, and it's a short off season and whatnot, and you come up here and spend time with some family, but we'd love to see you. We'll stay in touch here. Good luck the rest of the season, and we'll be watching, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Absolutely. Have a good one, Evan. Appreciate you.
it. Yeah, appreciate you. You too.